Good evening. It's Brewing Knowledge Friday. Today we are back with the book My Good School. I'm privileged to be the author who reads to you every week. What I think before I read the book today, I wanted to mention something I recently got. This is called the Book of Rumi. And I wanted to read the flap of the book only. It says, after nourishment, shelter, and companionship, stories are the thing we need most in the world. I think this is absolutely brilliant. So, this is a quote by Philip Pullman. So, I will repeat it. After nourishment, shelter, and companionship, stories are the thing we need most in the world. So, that's why we find purpose in what we do on Friday. We read stories. We will read some of these short stories as we go along. Today, we're going to focus on the book, My Good School. We are on page 40 of the physical book, Manisha. In the physical,
44.
it's 44 in the physical book. So if you have
44
the
copy.
physical book, please go to page 44. Reading on the chapter, Fun in Learning. Learning is fun. Fun is the beginning of anything fundamental. Even the first three letters of the word fundamental, fun must be the essential ingredient. This is how learning begins and ends. Very interesting. This is how learning begins and ends. So now we look at where we go from here. Why we are calling this. The day you miss out the fun element in education delivery, learning will come to an end. For beginners at school, the teacher's biggest challenge is how to make learning fun. This is a very interesting space. How to make learning fun. It is often said that there is a child in each one of us, and the only young at heart understand that fun is an essential element of any learning process. As trainers, teachers, mentors, and peers, we often find that we are pushed and taught. But this is not really the best way. There is a need to pull with fun, and this makes learning effective. The use of color, sound, touch, smell, and taste is the first step to make learning effective. In our kindergarten years, our teachers have to act, perform, and do all manner of wild things to hold our imagination. Think now. You're a kindergarten teacher, you are jumping about, you are dancing, you are trying to catch the attention of every child. How much of effort that teacher has to do? The teacher is an art teacher, dance teacher, music teacher, singing teacher, English teacher, maths teacher. Boy, the Montessori method of teaching aims for the fullest possible development of the whole child, ultimately preparing them for life, many rich experiences. Montessori teachers are trained facilitators in the classroom, always ready to assist and direct. Their purpose is to stimulate the child's enthusiasm for learning and to guide it without interfering with the child's natural desire to self teach and become independent. Sorry. Each child works through their individual cycle of activities and learns to truly understand according to their own unique needs and capabilities. So, in this small paragraph, we've actually explained the whole Montessori way of doing things. Simulation is the key to excite the mind, to learn and inquire freely. We must go beyond the five basic sensory approach in our learning environment and help develop the fertile young mind with games and discover the true self within. So now we are going further and we are going to see how this is to be done. Good teachers know how to go beyond the five senses. What constitutes a sense is itself a matter of some debate. We are taught that we have only the five senses of touch, taste, smell, hearing, and sight to guide us. It turns out that we have been understanding ourselves. Scientists count between 14 to 20 actual senses, such as perception of pressure, heat, and pain, and interoceptive senses like that of balance, most of which aren't taught in primary school. It is important to see what information we are really working with and what it will take to make learning fun. Fun must be the process and not necessarily the objective of teaching. So now we try to understand what is fun. As sometimes fun and frolic make us go off on tangents too. We have used two words here, fun and frolic, to explain what part of fun you are supposed to acquire and use. I suggest post this session, try and read up something about fun and frolic and how they work together. For a teacher, the challenge is to have the energy to go on and have fun too. Ask any teacher, and I'm sure they will say that the classroom environment and delivery of a curriculum often set a tedium. Boring, monotonous, dull, uninteresting, unexciting. And this is the true test for building a great learning environment. Very few are gifted with the ability to innovate endlessly. And it is just these individuals who are the best teachers and make learning fun. For most people, the teacher at the kindergarten level is their introduction to the learning and education process. Many will never get their first teacher. Sorry, many will never forget their first teacher. And this is simply because there is more fun at the start of the teaching process in any school. We will always need to be more creative to keep alive early childhood years and help us live the child within. It's a very short chapter. A lot has been said in this chapter. There is more to think about it. And now, as a teacher, when you look back your teaching life, some of you are starting. So, my only advice to you people is when you start as a teacher, the zeal you have, that's the zeal you need to live all your life as a teacher. Today, when I am in my silver gray hair and I am on the sunset, let me tell you, there is enough enthusiasm here as to when I started my first role as a teacher in a school in 1989. And that's the spirit which you have to keep going. Manisha will read one more chapter. Is there any thought here, any question anyone wants to ask? I want this session to become interactive if you want. Otherwise, I can just read. If you have any reason to ask a question, please feel free to ask. It's a meeting and not a webinar like the other days. Anyone has a question? Thank you. So we'll move on. We'll read the next chapter. Life is parenting. The parent community looks at the school as a factory. They send their raw material and expect a great product rolled out. The reality of the matter is that the school is only an ecosystem and all the stakeholders must work together to build a nurturing learning environment. What parents and guardians do at home has a great impact on children than what they do at school. Teachers are expected to work hard while children get away with all the mischief and parents play the blame game. In the words of American writer Brian Tracy, if you raise your children to feel that they can accomplish any goal or task they decide upon, you will have succeeded as a parent and you will have given your children the greatest of all blessings. All of us here are parents first, and every teacher is a parent. Don't forget that. There's nothing known as different stakeholders. Parents are different, teachers are different. No. If you look around, every teacher is a parent. So address yourself as a parent in this section. Address this whole section of the book is aimed at teachers on what teachers are and what teachers can be. I must emphasize, re emphasize that what parents and guardians do at home matters much more than what children do at school. I'll do this, Manisha. You got it? Otherwise, I can share. Just flip back to the first page so that I can get a little. Yeah, I've taken the screen. Thank you. Okay, so we go back here. Life at school from which we will never graduate. So we are really talking about life as parenting. We are born with empathy. So this is the chapter we're going to focus on. I will read from here. In the words of the American writer Brian Tracy, if you raise your children to feel that they can accomplish any goal or task they decide upon, you will have succeeded as a parent and you will have given your children the greatest of all blessings. I must re emphasize that what parents and guardians do at home matters much more than what children do at school. With 3 decades of parenting to back me and over 30 years of work volunteering with schools and leading young people, I emphatically state life is parenting. We are born with empathy to nurture our young ones with kindness and care. The cycle of birth and rebirth, as some would say, tempts me to say parenting is infinite. Children, for their parents, never grow up. And I'm sure you'll all agree on this. I have an 85-year-old mother whom I always give an example. She still feels I still go to school. Actually, I still go to school. I'm at my good school. Life is the school from which we will never graduate, and learning is the fun that makes life worth it. Parents must find time and be intrinsically involved and grow up with the children. Many of us, in our quest for economic comfort, will say that today, as both the mother and the father have to be bread earners, they do their bit to give a better world to their children. I'm sure the biggest investment you need to make is time, as this alone will fulfill all the emotional needs of a child and will even make up for any material shortfall. The first and the last teacher will be the parent alone. US Senator Joe Manchin has said every child should have a caring adult in their lives. And that's not always a biological parent or family member. It may be a friend or neighbor. Oftentimes, it is a teacher. Parenting or child rearing is the process of promoting and supporting the physical, emotional, social, and intellectual development of a child from infancy to adulthood. I will repeat, I think this is important for us to read and remember. Parenting is the process of promoting and supporting the physical, emotional, social, and intellectual development of a child from infancy to adulthood. Parenting refers to the aspects of raising a child aside from the biological relationship. So I've separated parent from the biological relationship. Pat Kozaira, whom I have known, and she has a beautiful book, parenting tips and bits. I wish I have it. I will bring it up later sometime. Suggests that we must have routines and consistency for our children, for ourselves, and even for our pets. Routines and consistency are so important for helping a child cope up with getting ready for school, doing the assigned homework, and learning to be organized. If this means putting up a checklist for our children and ourselves, then by all means we should make the priority list. An example is putting the child in charge of getting the school bag ready the night before so that he or she knows what is in it and what is not. Teachers get so tired of hearing, my mother or my helper didn't put it in there, I guess, or I forgot it at home, or I don't know where it is. We must appreciate that our child should know where their things for school are, and surely morning is not the time to struggle. Gozaira goes on to say that homework should always be done at a desk with proper lighting and writing instruments away from the TV and the many electronic gadgets that have today invaded our lives. The noise level in the house should be monitored, and homework should not be left until the child is too tired or ready for bed. This is just too late. Some of us have the luxury of all this. There are some of us who will not have such luxury. But even then, the circumstances, the environment could be adjusted to some extent. Parents want their child to read, to concentrate, and may even want them to speak in English. But do they do the same? When I was young, my mother would sit down with us when we did our homework. She was our Wikipedia and Google, and our anchor and our conscience keeper. With her knitting and crochet in one hand and eyes set on us, she gave us the luxury of best mentorship. Find me a mother in this day and age without a gadget in her hands when in the company of her young ones. It will be a challenge. Not many fathers will read aloud to their children today, and rarely do we have the luxury of grandma's tales either. Yet, we call ourselves good parents and find the schools guilty of letting down when when we see our child lagging in the class. My father, with the qualification of a 10th class pass, was my best handwriting teacher. And my mother, of postgraduate in Sanskrit, taught me how to speak correctly, have the best etiquette, and above all, be a team player. Most of our parents did not have the qualification we have, but their knowledge and the fire in them to learn and be the best parents made them our best teachers. We must find time to simply be with our children in peace and comfort and give them the most precious gift of time. I believe that if we invest in our children, we will be rewarded with peace and well being and will enjoy the never ending flow of parenting. We will read another chapter. I hope we're all good with it. Are we all in the flow of reading? Put a thumbs up if you want me to continue. I'm more than happy. I can read another chapter.
Yes, sir.
Sir, I have
Continue,
a
sir.
question.
Okay, lovely. So I'm glad you're enjoying the flow. An eager child or enthusiastic teacher. So in this book, the chapters are in a flow. So first you were talking of fun and learning, then you brought in the parent, and now you're trying to see the child or the teacher where the enthusiasm lies. An eager child or enthusiastic teacher. Some of the things one often hears in the parent and teacher meetings and at other forums are, this child is not interested, or the child should show some curiosity or interest in the subject, or the child is not attentive in the class, does not keep up with his or her work. Most often, the burden to learn is put on the child by the teacher and the parents. On the opposite end of the spectrum are teachers who are so enthusiastic that they do not have disinterested students in their class. What thus is essential to having a great classroom experience. If I asked you to name your favorite teachers from kindergarten through graduate school, it would be easy to answer, wouldn't it? Think about it. In the words of Professor Richard Leblanc, an award winning teacher at York University, Ontario, good teaching is as much about passion as it is about reason. It's about caring for your craft, having a passion for it, and conveying that passion to everyone, most importantly, to your students. I'm being a little selfish by saying, I hope you understand now why the book is Where Passion Meets Education. That's the zeal with which we love to teach. Fun begets fun. If the teacher is enjoying their work, certainly students will love the process of learning. Having a good time is human nature, and students to yearn for good times. Hard work and dedication do not mean that we cannot have fun. As a teacher, I can say with conviction that the more effort I put in, the more my students have fun and experience the joy of learning. Now, we all know the phrases we use every day, where they come from: joy of learning, fun, experience. Having a class full of fun does not mean that it is all about fun and games either, and that no teaching or learning will happen. This simply shows us that the teacher enjoys their work, and this translates into a better classroom environment. Teaching as a profession calls for hard work and fun to go together hand in hand. Having fun while working hard. Trying to explain how that happens. There are other words that are similar to enthusiasm and passion. They also describe our favorite teachers. Here are a few of them: zest, eagerness, liveliness, excitement, enjoyment, vitality, energy, delight, vigor, fervor, zeal, devotion. So I think these are all words synonymous for a teacher. Teachers have many challenges in their teaching careers, but the most important of all is the need to motivate students. How do you handle the unmotivated students, and above all, build an environment for every child to learn and grow? Different methods of teaching are needed to motivate students and improve their understanding. This is possible only when the teachers show a lot of patience and perseverance. An unmotivated student needs to be welcomed into the classroom and an environment created to help the student achieve great things. There is the need to encourage the unmotivated student to participate in the class. This can be done with activities, doing question and answer sessions, and not insisting on the right or wrong answers. We've been talking of all this in another book we are reading. It's called Productive Failure. They must feel that the classroom is a safe and interesting place, and that even giving wrong answers is just okay. The teacher must never be critical. Instead, work to increase a student's self esteem by rewarding positive and good behavior. They must continue rewarding the unmotivated students for their good deeds. This will encourage them to behave positively. Extra effort must be put in with the unmotivated students. The teacher needs to build a good relationship with the students. Talk to them about life and their future, sharing of life experiences and the mistakes a teacher makes or encounters in life. Other interesting learning experience for the students. While teaching, a teacher needs to be enthusiastic and maintain a high level of energy. Giving small and positive challenges to unmotivated students helps them build confidence. There is a pressing need to teach them how to face an unfavorable situation and allow them to evaluate and monitor themselves. Learning beyond accumulating knowledge is the most enjoyable activity And this is where the onus of making the classroom experience engaging lies on the teacher. Most of our teachers are pushed into the profession by chance and not by choice. This is the reason why so many educators do not have any fun in the classroom and treat teaching as a process. It all begins with fun. Fundamental begins with fun, but it also has mental in it. Any form of learning must begin with fun and then move on to the mental ability. I explain this as fun with mental ability to get the true meaning of fundamental. I hope the linguists will not censure me for their rather overt interpretation. So what I'm censure का मतलब है they may not punish me क्योंकि मैंने fundamental word को ऐसे तोड़ दिया जो प्योर भाषा वाले लोग हैं उनको शायद अच्छा ना लगे मैंने माफी मांगी है आई होप द लिंग्विस्ट जो लैंग्वेज जानते हैं विल नॉट सेंश्योर मी फॉर दिस रादर ओवर्ट इंटरप्रिटेशन ये सिंपलेस्ट जो मीनिंग मैंने डाला है द टीचर्स क्वेस्ट फॉर लर्निंग एंड स्टीरियोटिपिकल थिंकिंग विल पोज अ चैलेंज when they connect with young people. Only if fun is meant for all will there will be any form of creative learning. Today we talk of learning beyond the classroom. We literally need to move out of the four walls of the room and stand beneath the open sky. Without our creative ability, we will not be able to infuse the fun element in learning. All sociologists and even most educationists rely on life skills to initiate learning and education. The key element of life skills is fun alone. And this has been the proven and tested method for working with beginners and adults. We rely on icebreakers, mind games, brainstorming, all enforcing the hypothesis that it is fun that makes it happen. It is imperative for us as mentors to engage with youth and never miss out the fun. Many students leave school only able to think in words or limited and undynamic way of thought. But even worse for them, the joy of life that comes from creative thought is lost. Ideas of the visual dimensions of the brain, including mathematics, must make it the most beautiful object we can possess in the universe. Our minds are by far the greatest mechanism we can ever possess, and yet we hardly take notice of it. It is, as Tagore writes in parting words, our playhouse of infinite forms. This is the mind, which is the playhouse of infinite forms. This is the marvelous choice we can make in life, the greatest and the most beautiful mind. Let us not be escapist by pushing the burden on the student. It is the real leadership of the teacher that matters and ignites the mind of the eager learner. Before a good Shishya, there must be a good Guru. And often it is said, we follow the footsteps of our mentors. In the words of the students, the boring teacher is the one who is not able to recognize the eager child. Yes, it is important to be eager, and this preludes the enthusiasm that propels us to further learning. For a great classroom experience, we need the eager teacher and the enthusiastic child. A teacher must be an eager beaver, defined as one who is exceptionally, often excessively industrious or zealous. Beavers, considered to be extremely industrious, are always building dams. Beavers can put dams across rivers. A teacher can be eager and industrious just like a beaver. Oh, my great teacher, if you want to work in a great place, find a great leader or become one yourself. The leader is within you, and the choice is yours to delve within. Enjoy what you do, have fun, and lead the students to a great learning experience. And not once should you ever complain that the student is not eager to learn. If you, as a teacher, enjoy your job, the students will love every minute of your class, and you will have students be the eager child. There are some references here to good teaching, to good teachers. These are cross references. You can use them. You can even read Tagore's verse. whence I go from. This is a good reference. Do use these footnotes and references as your further learning point. I think we've read this chapter before, Manisha. Why teachers are averse to change. So we won't read it today. I only want to share something else with people before we move out of the session. So I will open the sheet, the reading sheet. Are you all aware of the reading sheet where we
But
have
many of
marked
them
out?
are new, so may not be aware of it.
Yeah. So I'll show the reading sheet. So what we will do is what we have been doing for this session particularly. We have a sheet called the Brewing Knowledge. Yeah, I'm sure you can see the sheet. Okay. So this is a Google sheet which is shared in the group. So today we read Life is Parenting and we read Fun in Learning. So I will go back to the content. But in addition to that, we also read An Eager Child or Enthusiastic Teacher. So in case we have read before, we have a record here. So we actually read this chapter on 7th March. Our teachers averse to change. So we may skip it, but we will fill in here what we have read today. An eager child or okay, is this chapter? There's a question mark. So we'll add that. So that's why I'm using AI. So if I look at the teacher, this chapter is page 51. I will also find you one online. I'm extremely sorry. I lost you people somewhere. I'm extremely sorry about this. I got carried away in doing my work and I missed out on that. I'm sorry about this break. So I hope you can see the sheet. Manisha, when I didn't hear you, I realized that I was working on the sheet and you were not there. Uh, can you see the sheet now, Manisha?
Yes, sir.
So 25th is, I shouted for you that what is the next date, and then I realized I was not in the Zoom call. So what is the next date, Manisha?
For this
Yeah,
25th के बाद
next,
2nd of
next
May.
2nd May. So what we will do on 2nd May, I shall add here.
Hello.
Yeah. What we do on 2nd May, I shall add here. You see my screen?
Yes, it's visible.
Yeah. So what I do on 2nd May, I will add here, and the link to this sheet is available in the WhatsApp group. Is that clear to everyone?
Yes, sir.
So you can read with your teachers, you can read with your students, you can actually be comfortable and actually be happy and read yourself. That's the important part. So please read the chapters at your comfort. As you don't have the book, we have shared the links with you. Any questions on today's reading? I have 5 minutes. Suman ma'am, thank you. You are the one who helped us start reading this book, and we have come a long way thanks to you. We are reading slowly.
Welcome, sir, and thank you very much.
No, Suman ma'am, do you people talk about the book? Do you get to read the chapters? Is there any discussion post the session?
Yes, sir. And even from the morning itself, teachers used to ask about the issuing books and all that. That today in evening we'll read that and that.
गुड आप में से कुछ लोग हिंदी स्कूल से भी हैं. मैं संक्षिप्त में अब उनसे 2 मिनट बात करूंगा, क्योंकि हमने प्रॉमिस किया है कि हम कोशिश करेंगे हमारे साथ सब चले. तो मैं जाने से पहले आपको एक चीज समझाना चाहूंगा. सुमन मैम जो झमकू देवी स्कूल से हैं, हमारे पास आई थी रिट्रीट पे. रीना मैम जानती हैं. रीना मैम, आपको याद है सुमन मैम मिलने आई थी आपको रिट्रीट में नवंबर में?
यस सर.
तो तब हमने प्रोग्राम बनाया था कि हम धीरे धीरे माय गुड स्कूल पढ़ने की कोशिश करेंगे. रीना मैम, आप भी धीरे धीरे पढ़ रही हैं हमारे साथ साथ?
यस सर.
और सबसे आसान तरीका है अंग्रेजी बोलने का, अंग्रेजी सुनने का. क्योंकि सबको स्क्रिप्ट आती है, परंतु स्क्रिप्ट को पढ़ना और पहचानने में थोड़ी दिक्कत होती है. जिस दिन ये पढ़ना पहचानना आप में आ जाता है, आप बहुत अच्छे टीचर बन जाते हैं उस भाषा में. आप टीचर हैं अच्छे, परंतु उस भाषा में. तो सुमन मैम के साथ हमने किताब पढ़नी शुरू की थी. हम चैप्टर वाइज नहीं पढ़ रहे थे, क्योंकि हम चाहते थे पहले टीचर समझें कि टीचर कौन है और फिर टीचर कैसे काम करता है. तो हमने ये कुछ चैप्टर पढ़ दिए हैं. आज हमने जो चैप्टर पढ़ा उसका मकसद था ये जानना कि क्लास में टीचर का व्यवहार कैसा होना चाहिए. टीचर एक पेरेंट है, टीचर एनर्जेटिक होना चाहिए, और टीचर्स के पास ऐसी स्किल्स होनी चाहिए जो वर्ड्स के बिना भी बच्चों को सिखा सके. एक्शन के साथ, फीलिंग के साथ, भावना के साथ. ये मकसद था आज के सेशन का. कोई सवाल रीना मैम?
नो सर.
मैं आपके पास घूम के इसलिए आ जाता हूं क्योंकि आर्थर फुट एकेडमी ने हमारा दिल ले लिया है. साक्षी, आपने कुछ पूछना है? 2 साक्षी हैं हमारे पास. प्रिया, आयशा, वैशाली.
Excuse me, sir. There is a message in the chat box.
I will just get the message. What are some common reasons why teachers may resist change in the education practice? Fantastic. Nidhi, that's a great question. So I shall read this chapter next time. We will read this chapter the second time. Thank you, Nidhi, for highlighting this. I will read this chapter next time. I'll go back to the sheet. So we had read this chapter on 7th March. Manisha, will it be fair to read it again? It's an interesting one.
Yes, sir. We'll go ahead with this.
Okay. So Nidhi, are you happy with your answer? We will reread this chapter on 2nd May. Is that good, Nidhi? You can write in your chat box. I will be able to answer that. Thank you, Nidhi. My love to the lotus petal. It at the moment is my eagle of the eye, or my lotus of the eye, or apple of the eye, whatever you want to call it. I've called 3 things. We are hoping we'll be able to do some good work with Lotus Petal. I had a very interesting conversation with Kushal the other day, so I'm glad you are here. It'll be nice if you can get others to read with us. We have different sessions on every day. We have Thursday evening session which focuses on music, art and poetry. Friday focuses on simple nuances of reading about a school. Saturday is more professional learning where we are doing some doctoral stuff on what we call productive failure. So this is what we do on Saturday. All our programs have a book behind it, which makes it easy for you to interpret, which makes it easy for you to follow up. That's why we do our programs with books as the core, because we believe reading, reflection, and relationships make the best teachers. So for us, the three teachers are reading, reflection, and relationship. If I'm the student, I'd like three different teachers to teach me. One called Miss Reading, one called Mr. Reflection, and one called Mrs. Relationship. That's the way I look at these three living personas of reading, reflection, and relationship. If you want to read more, and if you want to find out what more we can do, you can always go to this blog. This is the Learning Forward India Foundation. This is different from the blog we use for the Teachers Academy, is different from the blog we use for the Sunday school, and that is why this section has its identity. So this is a blog about why we set up the Learning Forward India Foundation. We set up the foundation simply to help schools become better. That was the idea. And the foundation focuses on governance, training, and learning. We have partners from across the world who work with us. That's how this foundation was structured in 2020. Everything about the foundation is transparent, including our books of accounts. So if you want to read, then the simple way out is, let us say this chapter, which you have mentioned today, Nidhi. I will tell you how to find this chapter online. How I found it was, the chapter here is why are teachers averse to change? So that was your question. So I will copy this question and I will come back here. So the chapter is there in the blog. So this blog has a whole lot of articles. It's a very well-read blog. See the reach of the blog, 14,44,594. I need to mention some of the partners who help us, who support us. They are here. So if you have any query, let us say you can use this like this. Annual day at school. I'm telling you how to use this as a part of My Good School. So, okay, so it'll tell you what is the role of an annual day, why you should have it, how it should be celebrated. It also gives you an example of how an annual day happens in a school, the prize distribution, how you should organize it. So it's a very practical book, My Good School. And this is the blog which gave birth to this book, which you are reading. So I'm sure now you will appreciate the brewing knowledge sessions far deeper than you could imagine. These sessions, why they are called brewing knowledge? Because we use books, we use your knowledge, and together we build our knowledge system. So thank you for joining us on Brewing Knowledge Friday. We will see you next week. It's been a wonderful evening. It's now 45 minutes up. Thank you so much to each one of you for finding a reason to be together, to read with us, to reflect with us. If you want to write something and if you want to say something about today's session, before you go, I'll share with you where you can do that. So I will again share screen for a split second before you go. So in case you want to share a thought, then this is where we are. This is the different blog. This is the Teachers Academy blog. All of us know where this is. It's called happyteacher.in. And if I go on this blog, there will be a post for today very soon as to what we have talked today. So if I go here, then if I go just down here, enhancing educational quality. Okay. So this is where we were reading about boards. Is that right, Manisha, last time?
Yes,
We
sir.
were, yeah, we were talking about boards, we were talking about curriculum. So the recording video is there, and below the video, you have a comment. So before you go, I think in all fairness, I should read last week's comment. With the heading days of the reading season, the excitement is mounting as well as to unleash more of it. This Saturday session has been great to show. Okay, she's actually commented about the Saturday session, but she's commented here, which is fair. So you sometimes get confused where you are commenting. So if you want to comment about today's session, you will get this up in a little while. Yesterday's post has come here. Yesterday was Thursday. We drew music, art, and poetry. So the recording is here, the content is here, and you can write below it. Very recently, there was a post on productive failure. This is from Sunbeam Varuna. They can comment below it, and the discussion can go on. Thank you. We have highlighted two blogs today, happyteacher.in and learningforward.in. So one is called learningforward.in and this one is called Happy Teacher, not teachers. Happyteacher.in. They're easy words. Learningforward.in, happyteacher.in. Let this be in you. God bless you and enjoy the evening. Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir.
Bye bye, Reena.
Thank